heading to Game Grumps Live. Yeah. Actually had a chauffeur. So there's that. So right now I'm not so grumpy.
Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie, we ain't on the same stage, leveled up.
Before I start the video, I just thought it was real cool to mention the guy that's chauffeuring me around in the beginning of the video, also named Leonard. I also got my friend Leonard, who I want to shout out, aka DJ Ramey, who's providing some of the music in not only this video, but in some others. So thank you for that. YouTube, I've got his consent. Please stop flagging my videos. Stop trying to demonetize them. Thank you. Hey y'all, it's other yellow hat guy here, and I'm back with another video. And I just got back from Game Grumps Live. That was at the DPAC in Durham, North Carolina. I always think of Tupac when I hear DPAC. I don't know why that is. I guess it's the alliteration. But I digress. Dan and Aaron showed up, along with Vernon, who put on a great show. They really did. It wasn't what I expected at all. I didn't go into this looking or expecting anything, but I enjoyed myself. Now, before I tell you how they changed my life, I'm going to first tell you a little bit about the show. But before we actually get into that, who or what are Game Grumps? Well, for those of you watching this that don't know, Game Grumps are Let's Players. They're a collective, actually. Now, there's two main guys, Aaron, and initially it was another guy. I won't really explain. You can go look that up for yourself. But anyway, those two were sitting around telling jokes and recording gameplay footage, and it took off. It became popular. Myself and many others enjoyed watching that content for years. So, Aaron, thank you for all of that. Eventually, another guy came along and replaced the co-host that left the show. That eventually became Danny. So Danny's got his band, and they all form a super kind of group, and that's called Starbomb. So back to Game Grumps. Danny was a second win for the show. I say that to say Aaron, being a younger guy at the time when the show started, was with somebody else around his age, and there's only so much that they could really talk about to where I felt like the show would probably flame out after a couple of years. But Danny, being older and wiser and more seasoned, been around the block a few times, had a lot more to bring to the show. So in the beginning, it's like, oh, hold up, I don't know what this is. I don't like change. He eventually grew on me like he did everybody else. So I went from really liking the show to, what is this, to appreciating it some more. And then some controversial stuff came out that I heard Aaron had said. I didn't really hear. I actually heard it myself. The footage is online. And that turned me off from Game Grumps. I didn't want to watch Game Grumps. And we're going to jump back into that. But before we hit that point, let's talk more about the show now. Now, I didn't really want to go to the show because of that last little tidbit that I dropped. But I couldn't sell my ticket in time. I ordered these months in advance. Or ordered that months in advance. And I figured, if anything, why waste the ticket? This could be a learning opportunity. So I always respected Aaron from a business standpoint, not so much as an entertainer, but when you had the show going on, it opened up my eyes to, they view themselves as entertainers, stand-up comedians, if you will. Because Dan, Aaron, and Vernon show up, and Vernon's more like the hype man. He's the icebreaker. He's the equivalent of the prelim fight in the boxing match, the major event. You've got the first match that shows up, then eventually you got the main event. That's kind of what Vernon was doing. So Vernon comes out and he's doing some kind of contest where he's picking people from the audience, one person really, to play Super Mario Bros. Whoever's the aficionado, if you think you're the best, come on up. You come on up, and the gimmick is you got to be blindfolded. So you're blindfolded playing, and people are telling you, jump, jump.
Keep going right. Got another WORDPRESS coming up. Got another good one.
So you've got to jump to the crowd commanding you, and that gets you hyped, that gets you interactive. It's warming you up for eventually when Dan and Aaron come out. So another life lesson there is, hey, you can only go forward, not backwards. Game Grumps Live, ladies and gentlemen. So eventually, after that guy does his thing, I'm just like, I wonder what that would look like if I tried that. Yeah, it would look something like that. But if you want to see that, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll put the whole video up. So moving on, Vernon's like, hey, you know how to spawn these guys. You know how to summon these guys. You know how to bring these guys up, these demons or ghosts or whatever they are. You got to sing the song. Hey, I'm Grump. I'm not so Grump. And we're... Okay, so you get it. They come up to ruckus applause like this. So again, I apologize for a couple of things. Number one being the guerrilla style footage that I've been showing you. Really weren't supposed to show footage, but to really get the impact, the emphasis of what I'm trying to say across, I decided to include some of this because it was really a cathartic experience for me personally. That being said, they come out and they're playing Mario Party 10. So another thing I apologize for is I don't like Mario Party 10. I got my own reason, really, and we can get into it in another video. But long and short, I was fired over Mario Party 10. But again, if you want to hear about that, you know what to do. Get in those comments. So one thing that dawned on me when I got in there was I'm seeing all this merch. And everything, and I'm amazed by all that. I was in, shock. I was like, I could only aspire to this as a small content creator, to get to this level where you've got, thousands of people showing up to buy, posters and shirts and all that. It was amazing. It was awesome. I couldn't even put the words together. I almost said the wrong thing and had to restart this whole video. Going forward, I'm looking at it like they call it the final party. Why? Because they've been playing Mario Party all this time, and this was the last time they were going to do that iteration of the show. So they got the crowd involved in this.
We're here, y'all. Player 4! And what we're going to do is we're all going to pick our characters. Aaron's going to roll for everybody, and then...
4-player game. Dan and Aaron both pick Peach and Yoshi respectively, and they get random crowd members with Vernon coming out there to pull you to play. And it was awesome because you got people dressed up like Danny and his band, his character's outfit, and they had the hair and all that going on. It was just cool to see. Lots of people were having a good time. I realized I didn't even understand all the rules and all the different die that were in the game. I really didn't understand how to play it, but it's what it is. So it wasn't what I expected either, but it was a great show. If I could rate it overall, I'm going to give it 4 Earthworm Gems out of 5. So here's the part of the video that may turn you off. You may not want to watch the rest of it. Ironically, I called it How They Changed My Life. Okay? That being said, I felt like maybe I was at a point where I outgrew Game Grumps, but the controversial stuff that Aaron said, just as a personal color, just turned me off. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, how dare you? Now, the footage is out there. You can go look it up for yourself. He's saying the N-word. Now, he's a young 20-something kid at the time, but I'm just all in my feelings. We're in this cancel culture now where it was like, nope, that's it, I'm done. Yeah, I know. You're like, you're on the subreddit. You're like, why'd you even go? Why are you even making this video? Rant Grumps, we don't like Game Grumps anyway, so tell us what we don't know already. Well, here's the deal. We've all been there. We've all got skeletons in our closet. So when I heard the stuff that he said, I was like, I'm done. I'm not rocking with Aaron no more. I'm the same guy who, when Papa John's, it came out, he said his thing. I was like, nope, I'm deleting the app. When PewDiePie, Brofist and all, he came out and said what he said, I was like, nope, I'm done. No more Brofist. You're done, bro. That's it. When the aforementioned co-host said what he said, I was like, oh, unsubscribe. I'm done. No more. Dino City, bro. No. So when Aaron said what he said, it's like, is this really how he feels? Is this a slip up? Is it reflective of who he is today? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you can say things and do it for attention. For example, I mean, I'm the same guy who put on the ski mask and said controversial lyrics to rap to shock and get your attention. Okay? Try to sound like the Black Eminem, but sound more like Bizarre. Okay, from D12. So back to Aaron, it's like he's on new grounds trying to be edgy, trying to get attention, trying to blow up his whole career. And this is way before the Game Grumps and everything. So I should forgive the guy, right? So I come to the show anyway because, again, I couldn't get rid of the ticket, and I felt like this could be a learning experience. I could learn how this business works, if anything, and have content for a video. And boy, did I learn. Hopefully you learned something so far. So I've always respected him as a businessman, but could I respect him as a comedian and everything? I had a good time at the show, so why not? But could I respect him as a person still? Could I separate the art from the person? Well, again, I've said some things, we've all said some things, and unlike some of the other guys that I alluded to, I don't think Aaron is that guy. I don't think he's a bad guy per se. Now here's where things got interesting. 30 minutes left into the time that they had. The show ends. They were pretty much done with the Mario Party stuff. You can see who won right here.
Fourth place in his game. In third place in his battle. And the winner.
So after that, they're like, hey, how about you guys have some Q&A fun with us? So awesome. They're going to allow us to do that. Now, I had a friend there, hey Michelle, if you're watching, who was in a Q&A session that, you paid for like a VIP package. You got to be a part of that before the show even started. So I don't know what took place there. I was the cheap guy who was like, I'm not even paying for parking. I'll walk. I'm not paying for no VIP or anything. So at the end of that, I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes, because I was kind of already tired, but hey, it could be something hilarious that comes out of this. As fate would have it, I got to ask a question. Now, mind you, I didn't want to go, but I got to be honest with you guys. I had fantasized for months if I were to bump into Aaron or possibly be involved in the show in an interactive way, like a Q&A style thing, I'd ask him, hey man, did you really mean those things? What makes you think you have the right to say the N-word? Like, who are you? Who are your parents that raised you? Where are your buddies who should be checking you and maybe smacking you across the face, telling you not to say those things? And while the mic is in my hand, the ghost of Harriet Tubman felt like it was with me. Like, I'm the verbal John Wilkes Booth in this theater with this mic as my gun, cocked and loaded, ready to aim at Abraham Aaron Hansen Lincoln. Whew. So something happened at that point. I didn't think the mic was for me. Maybe I was supposed to hand it off to somebody else, but they're talking amongst themselves, and I froze. I froze. I choked up. I was B-Rabbit in 8 Mile. Another Eminem reference. I couldn't talk. And it was almost like I was divided. It's like the good angel, where were you? Because the bad angel was just like, yo, finish this dude. Kill him. Destroy him. And I just couldn't talk. And the good angel was like, yo, you're late? No, but the good angel was on time. Why? Because I couldn't say anything, and I just started thinking back now. The business. This is bigger than Aaron Hansen. People paid good money to have a good time. The venue. All the work that they did to get these guys. The artists that drew all the artwork for the shirts and the posters, the pins. People who came from out of town to see this guy. And you think that you're entitled enough to ask him that question right here and now about something he said maybe 10 years ago, as if it was directed to you specifically. You want to be that guy. and I just couldn't. So I'm sorry for you guys on the subreddit, the rant Grumps or whatever, that dislike me now. Why are you even making this? This is why. Because I learned to forgive him. I had to forgive him. And this is why. Danny said something right here, and you'll hear it right now.
We cannot control how anyone else acts, but as far as Aaron and I are concerned, we don't care what your gender is, what your race is, who you choose to love, what you do politically, anything like that, your religion, none of that matters. If you're here tonight, we love and appreciate you. So that is so sad.
So after he said that, I felt all the hatred, all the angst, all the word vomit that I wanted to spew just wash away. I had my coming to Jesus moment. A Jewish guy bringing me to Jesus, yeah. It was cathartic, like I said. So, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but the moral of the story is this. On one hand, I could have had an SJW moment to go in on him, to make a statement, to make history for what? 15 minutes of fame? To annoy a whole bunch of people and to get a few clicks? Maybe the video would have been viral. But on the other hand, it's, hey man, you want him to learn about what he did wrong, and maybe he has. But maybe you got to learn about forgiveness, and not only that, that it's not a battle worth fighting if it really... This isn't taking a knee for, you know, social injustice. This was me just trying to get him to own up to what he said, and I think I'll take Dan's statement as an apology. I can't hold that against him, just like I can't... I hope that you guys don't hold anything that I've said against me. So the point is, also, stop holding these YouTubers, influencers, and celebrities, role models as, you know, bigger than what they are. Stop putting them on a pedestal, is what I'm trying to say. Myself included, I gotta stop doing that. Don't look for heroes. That was the theme of this year for me, you know. So I became my own. Save yourself, you know. Don't look for other people to save you. But if you are looking for somebody, Other Yellow Hat Guy will be at SEGE this weekend. So look for me there. Maybe Saturday only. I'm not sure yet. But stay tuned for more. Thanks. Captain Sensation.
Oh, that was special.